Potioncraft is an alchemist simulator and it's available in early access as of last week. I loved the demo that I played of this earlier on in Steam Next Fest, and I have to say that although the game hasn't moved on a great deal since then into early access, what's here is fantastic, and it's one of those games that you kind of go, oh, I'll just play that for 20 minutes, and then like an hour later you're like, what happened there? In Potioncraft, you'll be playing largely on this main map screen where you'll start off with a base kind of potion. And in this case, it's water for the majority of this game. But it implies that there's going to be other ones added on at a later point. And what you'll be doing is collecting ingredients from your garden or buying them from merchants that come through your store. And there'll be things like flowers, mushrooms, crystals, salts, that kind of stuff. And what you'll be doing is either dropping them straight into your potion or mashing them up with a pestle and mortar and then adding them into your potion mix in your cauldron. What this does, a bit like a pirate's treasure map, is then map out what's going on around the world around you. And then as you stir, your potion travels along that kind of dotted line map. Now, on the map that you're going for, it's like a fog of war in a strategy game, so you need to uncover where you're going and understand where different potions and effects kind of come together. A lot of the map will be covered in skull and crossbones, and if your potion travels into these areas, essentially it becomes volatile and explodes, and you'll need to start from scratch, and you lose the ingredients that you've put in. Half of the fun of Potioncraft is in that early phase of the game where your map is fogged and you need to go and uncover it because you're thinking, right, well, I'll chuck in a couple of water blooms or something like that, and then you might have one of the frost crystals or something, and then that will push you in a certain like direction to the right, or if you're going for one of the fire ones, you'll go to the left. Air is up, earth down, and so you start to kind of mix and match where you want to go to push you in like directions of the compass. But because every single ingredient has its own kind of weird and wonderful trajectory, you are really relying on what you've got, making sure that you start to understand what you need to buy as well to push you in certain directions so that you can have a good selection of ingredients to make sure that you satisfy your customers that come in through the door. There's a nuance to how you brew, and if you spot a potion, you can get them to levels 1, 2 and 3 in terms of tiers. A tier 3 potion needs to be near on pixel perfect overlaying where that original potion is. So to do that, you'll be mashing stuff into pestle and mortar as well as putting things in direct, like neat, so to speak. And what I found was the best way to start getting tier 3 potions was to push yourself slightly past where you need to be, but in an angle where you can then tip that little water jug back into the cauldron. And what that does is it pushes you back to the centre of the board. And so if you get the angle right, you can kind of reverse park your way back into the potion layout. It's very tricky to do, but that's part of the fun. Now, as you get up and running, different customers will come in and they'll have different needs, and it's tied to your reputation. Your reputation increases each time you clear a potion and you get awarded stars. 1 star for a tier 1 potion, 2 for a tier 2, 3 for a tier 3. And so your reputation builds up, but every time you build up and go past a certain level, you level up essentially and can start to charge a little bit more for your potions, but you'll also then get a wider variety of potions and customers will start to demand more from you. So they won't be happy so much with level tier 1 potions and they'll go, well, I'm barely paying anything for that, and you can't really haggle them for it either. Whereas they will pay quite happily for a tier 3, so it demands perfection. If you do get perfection, you can start to save these recipes into your recipe book, but you can only save a couple before you need to start buying magical pages to start adding stuff in. And with this combined with the general e-commerce world, or commercial world, I guess, in Potioncraft, You will find that the grind here is around building up enough potions so that you can have a good stock of everything, so you can make a run on doing lots of good potions back to back to increase your reputation, to therefore raise your prices to try and keep up with things. It's difficult, it's tricky. I'm not sure the balance is right, because quite often you will have to buy quite a few weird and wonderful ingredients that cost more than the potion that you're going to sell, so you start running at a loss. To combat that, there is a haggle ability, which allows you to reduce the price of things that you buy and increase the price of things that you sell, but that in turn hits your reputation for being a bit of a haggler. So there's a trade-off to be had there. The good fun with all of this is that as you travel around the map and find out new potions, you'll gain XP by going across anything that's got like a little bookmark on it. That then translates into skill points, and skill points lets you level up either your prices that you're going to sell, the amount of XP that appears on the map, your haggle ability so that you can change the price and reduce the price of things on a much wider scale, or you can just increase the influence that you have of clearing the fog of war on your potion map. It's really quite cool. At the end of the day, once all the customers are gone, you go to bed and your garden regenerates next to your enchanted tree for the next day. Pick what you've got, grab more stuff from the merchants, and off and away you go again. There's some stuff in here that hasn't been fully implemented, like the reputation system seems to, although it's implied that it will dynamically change the type of visitors that you get, it just seems to be a mix and match of everything at the moment. And other things that are coming on down the line are new effects, new potions, and potion bases as well, which kind of properly intrigues me because that will give you entirely new maps to explore. And garden upgrades and planting management as well, which makes me really, really intrigued. The other thing that I really like about this that's already in is the ability to customize how your potions look, what their color is, the type of bottle. You can mix and match a couple of different colors in it with it as well, so you can start to kind of make quirky little bottles. And all of that's there, and it's great. Very, very, very good fun. And it's just one of those games that you kind of go, oh, just be like a couple of minutes. Nope. Half hour, gone. And it's just good fun. So that's it. Potion Craft out on early access now. Thoroughly recommended. Great fun to just noodle around with. And it's one of those games as well that you can do quite terribly at and still relatively survive and progress. It's just it will be a huge grind and you'll be stuck very much in the early discovery phases of just playing around with a few potions. So yeah, just have fun and enjoy. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/higherplane network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.